Welcome back to... Okay, lighting. Thank you for welcoming me. Welcome back to Suladan Plays Cayne. Last time, lots of weirdness. Our friend came back, we overloaded a power core, some critter was staring at us through the, well, screeching at us through the electric fence, and we opened the door to the birthing lab, which is sure to not be a place that I'm just gonna have to jump cut over entirely for sensory reasons. I'm just worried by the name of this place. Okay, so there's two doors I can go in, and that one's a no. I'm gonna go left. Because I like left. Baby grubs! Aw, no, they're in coma.
Oh, God. It must smell terrible in there. Gag just thinking about it.
I think it's saying it's too hot.
Notice, ready to challenge to require full drop extraction.
Now I'm convinced that every one of these computer voices has got a brain in a jar under it, and that they're actually brains in jars. But they're so cute, they're giant caterpillars. Oh, okay. Julian, Kearn, login, check-in, incidents. One of them is Caligula, Attila, Mingle, Kingus, Mao, Nero, and Vlad. Okay. Vlad was temporarily removed. Caligula has exhibited extreme aggression towards her siblings. Sorry, my hand twitched. Mao consumed 5 of Nero's appendages. Applies raw meat and plasma to encourage broodcast production. Vlad produced an excess of nootropic vapor, which resulted in low visibility. 1 cubic meter of gas was shipped to the Kearn lab for subjugation of Samantha. Attila started the metamorphic process. I've applied an inhibitor to inhibit stage 2 maturation. Good gracious, I can't talk today. What happened to me? The grubs are responding negatively to maternal vocal calls. There is a possible rupture in the grub containment enclosure that is causing a brood gas leak that is in turn agitating Samantha. Habitat humidity reduced from 48 for the 512-hour hibernation cycle. Making a note. Crew faculties and password in case Bolo locks me out again. Play button, golf, golf. Because they remind me of the little flags in the golf, like on the golf field in the holes. I'm going this way now. Uh-oh.
Jesus.
You're scared?
Heck yeah, I'm scared. This place. Who could create this?
Monsters.
That appears to be a... I don't know what that word means, but we're just gonna roll with it. That appears to be just a pile of... What is that, meat and bone? Floating corpse. A mangled PDT clings to the spinal cord. Are you gonna make me get that? Okay, there's a voice recorder and a PDA. And some fire. You know, go look at the what's a who's it. You better not give me a close-up. You're not gonna look at it? Okay. Grab the voice recorder.
John Kearn, note to self, all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Leviticus 9:10.
What version are you reading, buddy? Let's see. I just had to look it up for the fun of it. I think you got your numbers a bit wrong there. That's Leviticus 11:10, and technically it's referring to what they were allowed to eat and what they weren't. The whole clean and unclean. What's a who's it? Many of the things in the waters that don't have scales are also bottom feeders and scavengers and stuff, and they have a higher rate of parasites and things that can infect people, and, you know, generally, it's safer to stick with that. So, you know, it is good advice. Same could be said with the no pigs thing. You know, at that point in time, it's kind of the reason there's so much about pork has to be cooked a certain, like, anyway, this is not a, like, food diagnostics
They were
channel.
growing someone.
You can grow someone?
They were trying to grow Cayne.
That's Kearn.
Cloning is unpredictable. Cloning an individual is impossible.
It sounds like they were using something special. Something called Samantha.
Also, I just want to make note about the fact that the voice recording from Kearn sounded a lot like our friend in the walls. I don't know. Maybe the same voice actor, maybe the same person. Maybe coincidence. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Who knows? I'm talking to a camera! Today is... Oh, great. Is this the guy that she kept calling religious, but really ambiguously, so I have no idea what he's doing. Hendry? Is Hendry a name? What do I know? I knew a girl named Chiquita once. I don't think there's a rule when it comes to names. All I can think of was that banana company, the Chiquita Banana. Anyway. There's some weirdness in this world. Today is a holy day. Hendry Cayne himself has arrived, frozen and waiting for the great harvest to come. Soon the flesh of the immortal vessel will bring him new life. We're closer than ever, and I know it. The race has begun, and I will not allow Dr. Adams, the heretic he is, to win. No, Cayne will not allow it. He knows his plan, and he knows that it ends with me. Our Leviathan is Samantha. Nothing on earth is her equal. A creature without fear. Okay, let me check your numbers again. Yeah, upon earth there is not his like who is made without fear. Okay, I'll grant you that one. There be weird sounds coming from outside my room. Well, outside the house. My room is on the outside of the... Well, my room is adjacent to the outside. Do you say that a room is on the outside or adjacent to the outside? Because if it's on the outside, wouldn't that make it outside? On the exterior, I guess. And then we would use outside in the context of meaning exterior. But anyway, the Job 41:33 is, upon earth there is not his like who is made without fear. So, you know, at least he got the numbers right this time. Next. Never again will he die. Never again will he feel pain. Never again will he leave us. He'll be reborn of his own duplicate flesh and not that of Adam's and his ridiculous mind transfer or parlor trick. We're getting closer. Our next patient has undergone the new and improved genetic fusion procedure and is reacting well. Spinal cord has been killed, meaning that the dead cells will need to regenerate and reform into a functioning spine. No signs of physical rejection thus far, and cellular regeneration is slowly beginning. It should reconstruct itself overnight. Our Lord has stricken us with inadequacy. We have failed yet again. This is my fault, and I must, as always, accept responsibility. This time I've added hooks to my whip and shall flagellate Tiltal. I will elaborate on the results after I've taken time to reflect. Oh, that's not... They used to make these whips, you know, yay long. They're, you know, their length varied. Had lots of tails on it, and each one had either metallic, bone, etc. hooks in the end, various, you know, shards of stuff down the length of it. And when they say being flagellated, it's a weird word, I know it. It's because of the way all the little tails and all. It's the same reason that the flagellum on microscopic stuff is called what it is, because of the way it whips. But basically, it slices to ribbons while whipping, going through skin, muscle, tendons, down to the bone. Very horrifying thing. Often done by the Romans, to, you know. Anyway. They knew what they were doing when it came to torture, but ooh. Nope. Fusing Samantha's DNA with the patient's caused the newly regenerated spinal cord to expand drastically, forcing the vertebrae to audibly pop into even halves. Soon after, the patient's immune system attacked the rogue spinal cells, which in turn retaliated by killing off all other attached nerves. In the end, this patient succumbed to asphyxiation as the new cells burned through oxygenated blood more quickly than the lungs could produce. Another failure, but still not a wasted body. Praise be, I've spent the day, or at least most of it, reflecting on our Savior's brilliant plan. The pieces slide into place. Samantha, myself, and the almighty Cayne in the same facility. The planets are aligning. The end draws near. Or perhaps the beginning. I'm glad we've finally found a use for Ralph. We've put him to a more productive task. His blasphemous lectures about how the fungal plague is the result of poor hygiene were getting on my nerves. It's Cayne's doing. The plague is retribution for our sins. So he worships Cayne. I guess we've established that. Tonight we test again. We'll be using the same procedure as before, but this time an enzyme inhibitor will be introduced to prevent excess tissue generation. We must not accept failure. We will bask in the light of Cayne's restored glory. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. You're taking that really far out of context, but let's make sure your numbers are right. I'm just fascinated to check his numbers every time because his numbers were wrong the first time. Nope, he got that one right. Okay, moving on. Still the patient lives. However, it has exhibited some concerning symptoms. Although the spinal cord has stopped regenerating at an appropriate time, the arms and legs still occasionally twitch. Or more accurately, flail. Seems that the spine has control over the connected limbs. The patient is no longer viable. After a promising start, the regenerative tissue again expanded beyond intention. Surprisingly, the patient's removed vocal cords were reconstructed. Of course, it didn't understand speech. It must have been frightened by its own inhuman screaming as it immediately tore its own throat out. After some gurgling, it regenerated within hours, then terrible screaming and a bloody extraction. Cascade of rotting tissue, the previous throats began to form a dangling, bleeding scarf as the patient continued to tear itself apart. Oh, that abomination. As far as Sharon can tell, Adam's unrighteous creation has wasted precious flesh in making a toy of some kind. Just like its creator, the abomination has been an unholy waste of resources. Even a name such as Hobo is an undeserved grace. It's an animal and nothing more. Pestilence strikes. The fungal threat is weak now, but soon it will spread to our food and to our bodies if it hasn't already. This is our first and perhaps final warning to make haste. I've traced the spores to a cargo shipment earlier in the year, but I have no idea how they became so virulent. Behold, with a great plague will Cayne smite thy people and thy children and thy good... You know, that one sounds edited. Let's check that. Behold, a great plague will the Lord smite thy people, and thy children and thy wives and all thy goods. You missed the and thy wives part. And there's no need for the 3 dots, because that's like the end of the verse, and usually you just use 3 dots when you're, like, cutting out part. I mean, that's just basic English, like, punctuation and stuff when done with quotations. But yeah, I guess that is to further emphasize the point that this guy worships Cayne and is slightly crazy. Just a little bit. The fungus is having an observable impact on the cellular regeneration process. One patient began to develop a film of what resembled reptilian scales, complete with a secondary set of eyelids. This is unacceptable. The spinal regeneration process has been mastered. Almost any tissue can now be perfectly reconstructed, but it's impossible to get definitive results with the interference. Cayne, if you truly seek rebirth, why do you hinder me so? Is this not the time? Surely there's a reason. Samantha scratched several demonic scrawls into an insignificant employee's back. I warned them not to get close to the succubus. She's the devil. Sometimes you gotta make a deal with them to get closer to heaven. Forgive me, Cayne. I succumbed to Sharon's temptation and had a romantic dinner rather than working late as I should have done. What? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. My repetitive failure has indeed had an impact on my faith. I'm being tested. For the love of Cayne, I shall rise above. 1 Timothy 6. That's not 1 Timothy 6, 11, and 12. Dude, if you're gonna quote, like, Bible stuff, at least get the numbers right. Flash is weak. Let's see. Yay for search algorithms. He could be referring to Matthew 26:41 or Mark 14:38. Watch ye and pray lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. Or watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So, yeah. At least do your research and get your numbers right. Today I noticed my laboratory is missing several incubators. Last inventory check was several months ago, so it could have gone missing at any time. It was undoubtedly the work of Adams, but why? He doesn't need the equipment, and certainly I can certainly spare it. Perhaps the hobo is involved. This is disconcerting at best. Time is of the essence. Samantha's escape today is likely to be the first of many, and we will eventually run out of ways to subdue her. Re-engineered grubs are producing a potent gas that is driving the beast to fluster. Whether she kills us all or we find a way to kill her first, neither outcome revives Cayne. Will not rest until he was returned to intervene. From this point on, I live for nothing else. Okay, well that's that apparently. And oh, hang on, whip. Can I has it? That's not a... You know what? That is not the type of whip you'd be using for flagellation. That's just a whip. I mean, it has tiny burrs on it, but the length of the whip would make that redundant. I mean, it could still be used. It's not what he was describing. Basically, the Cat of Nine Tails whip would be a good example. The Scorpion. It had a lot of names. Or there have been a lot of versions of the idea with various names, I should say. Crew quarters. That's the one with the two play buttons and the golf flags. Waiting for her to run around in here is a little tedious. It's just such a large area. Central elevator. Crew facilities.
It worked!
Yeah!
This can't be how I meet my end. I have so much more inside of me. I have so much more to give to the world.
Yep, this wasn't my plan either. This wasn't how it was supposed to be.
You're young. You can get through this.
And then, I'm stuck. Stuck with a baby. It's not a life. Not fair for either of us.
There are other choices.
Bingo! I did make a choice. It didn't end well. Women in my family have bad luck with babies. I'm continuing a proud family tradition.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with trying to kill it. Could have put it up for adoption or something.
So, this is where the
giant
monsters
soda
play.
can! Oh, not
Still
Juca-Cola.
no sign of anyone?
Not again.
Do plants count? This horrible place must have had more people around.
What's with the giant eyeball? The cola can I get because they're really big on advertising Juca-Cola. If memory serves, wasn't it banned by the time of Stasis though, because of the fact that it's addictive? The space soup and space special. A boombox. Poke it. Poke it, I say. Whip the boombox.
Seems like a bad idea.
Actually, I need to combine everything with
Hang
everything.
out loud. What was I thinking?
I was thinking that basic adventure game logic tells me to combine everything with
Bad
everything.
idea. On second thought, nope. Hadley, what would your mother say? Sorry, kiddo. I don't know what I was thinking.
Okay, well that... Ugh. Steel pole, though. Can I break it? Can I have it? Okay. Here, just let me whoop that into the I want that quantum storage device. Infinite pockets. I would recommend not trusting me with infinite pockets, but...
Stupid Hadley.
I mean, it looks like a spear to me, but, you know, what do I know?
PH? Yeah, the beat goes on. Don't forget your free autographed photo.
Huh, what do I need a lever for? Yay, more 5. Oh. Yeah, that's a real minor elevator malfunction. Yeah, or the PDF. Hadley, do the move. Oh no, I just can't get up there yet.
I never know if I should be shouting for help or keeping quiet. Hello? Hello? Shit. Okay, keep it quiet.
Called it. I was gonna make a screeching sound just to be spooky, but I didn't think the game would be one step ahead of me there. Let's see what. Can you tell me what the thing is? It makes me sad when it just won't tell me what the achievements were. Like, show me what the... Oh, whatever. I just wanted to know what I did to get it. I assume it's the screechy noise there. Okay. Oh, that door. I came in that door, so I can go out that door. Brilliant. Something died in here. I mean, you'd have been smelling it outside before you walked in.
Decorated.
Yeah, it was the decorations that made you. Ooh, personal time. Oh, somebody done broke it. I wanted to. Wait, how'd somebody chew it off its hinges?
Oh my god. I know him. I know this guy.
What guy?
There's a photo of... Oh shit.
Old boyfriend?
Drunken bar night in a morning full of regrets. They paid for the procedure. They chose the hospital.
Who?
Cayne Corporation.
Sure, I needed the photo. Anything else in there I need? I mean, I could have the electronic doodads. Vintage photographs. Vignettes. Oh, there's something on the floor. I want it. Back. Equipment.
A PDT. And it looks unused.
How do you know?
No blood on it. And it doesn't smell like rotting meat.
That's actually pretty smart. So I needed that, so that's good. So I'm making lots of progress today. Aside from the... There, oh, dear goodness. Okay. Daddy is anxious. He won't admit it, but I think the idea of having Cayne and Stasis here bothers him. He knows his work's coming along slowly. He's scared to fail in his holy light, but he knows that he will. Poor Daddy. Oh, that's Sharon. I'm sure it's her temptation that's leading my daddy to failure. She keeps him from punishing himself like he should. She scolds me for calling him daddy because she thinks I'm too old. Excuse me, but I was raised with a little thing called values. Besides, she wants me to call her mom? Double standards, right? Oh, this is the girl. Oh, okay, yeah, this is the one that she was complaining about because I wouldn't call her mom. Joseph is so special. Don't you ever feel like something is just meant to be? It's such a tacky feeling to describe, but it's true. It's cliche for a reason. How can you have nostalgia over somebody you just saw a couple of minutes ago? I don't know, but it's the best feeling in the world. Yeah, babysitting Samantha's brood is easier when I know I can go see him afterwards. Ugh, another day, another load of brood gas harvested. I understand we need to keep Samantha calm, but it's such a pain to watch over her oversized maggots. Of course, why bother with the gas when we can just stick Sharon in there to calm her down just as well? They look about the same anyway. Did I mention how much I hate working with her? It's bad enough she's... but I have to work with her every day. Time to vent. That wasn't venting! Oy, I've been really thinking about how Samantha only lets Sharon handle her, and it makes me so mad. Joseph could cheat on me and I'd still be angrier about Sharon and her stupid lopsided face. Man, if she'd only stop trying to micromanage my family. First day of May is always so romantic. Spring is here. I mean, it probably is somewhere or other. There aren't really seasons here. Sometimes the atmospheric controls break and try to either freeze or burn us to death, though. That counts as seasons, I think. You know, I like the way you think on that one. Like the air conditioner's busted. It's -20 in here. It must be winter. It's a tough life. Nothing can ever just be okay, you know? If somebody isn't sick, you can bet they're tired or hungry or stressed out. There's nowhere I'd rather be, though. Most people don't get to live with their daddy forever, much less a 5-minute walk from their perfect boyfriend. Plus, I'm working for a righteous cause. It's all worth it. Ew, fungus. They say it's inside all the ventilation system, and now it's starting to settle on the outside of the vents. Maybe that's why everybody's got food poisoning. How long's this stuff been around? It smells like old feet. Work's been getting even harder for Daddy, and now this fungus is everywhere. I have just the thing, though. I can make sure Dr. Adams doesn't use this as an opportunity to get ahead. Tonight, I'll level the playing field. Joseph likes to bring me to Adams' workspace when we get really romantic. Sure, he won't notice if some information gets deleted, right? Sharon says her face is so disfigured because she had a stroke and lost control of the muscles that are supposed to hold the right side of it together. I'd have a stroke, too, if I had to live knowing that I was such a helpless idiot. Except I'd do the right thing and just off myself so the rest of the gene pool didn't have to deal with me. You're horrible. It's been a really long time since Daddy told me about Mommy. When I was a teenager, he'd put me to sleep every night with a story about the two of them before I was born and how happy they were. He denies it, but I think her death has a lot to do with the decision to practice medicine. Oh, with his decision to practice medicine. I don't see where that adds up, but okay. Now, though, he insists that it was his calling from Cayne since he was just a child and that Mommy was just an insignificant cog in the machine of life. I understand. Everyone copes differently. Dr. Adams has done it. He's mapped Cayne's mind into a new host. No rejection. This isn't how it's supposed to happen. Daddy just needs more time. I've rewritten the results and updated the ARM computer with Joseph's login details, but I'm not sure how long I can keep this up. Cayne, help us all. Joseph struck me hard across the face. Does he know that I've been sabotaging their reefers? He called me Grublina while he Moving on. It's a blessing from Cayne. Samantha broke free today and killed 5 security guards. Why is this good? I managed to sneak over to Ralph during a commotion and print a PDT. I used Joseph's high-level security clearance details and managed to grab a blank one. I'll save it for a rainy day. Daddy hasn't slept in 3 whole days. He barely eats, and what has Sharon done? She distracts him. He needs to focus on Cayne. Maybe it's time I finally give her what she deserves. Joseph's been cold towards me despite me submitting to another beating and some light strike. Bueno. Wait, Bueno? Thought you were with Joseph. Who's Bueno? Who names their child Good? Bueno and I are over. The jerk, he admitted to me that Adams paid him earlier this year to mess with a young girl. Was she prettier than me? Does she believe that pain is pleasure? No, this cannot continue. I'll lure Sharon over to Samantha's cell and use Joseph's PDT to release Samantha on her. Okay, we've established that Sharon and Samantha get along just fine. How on earth is that gonna help anything? You're just gonna set Samantha loose on the station. Just, to release Samantha on her, I just need a little human flesh to get the broodlings buzzing, and Samantha will do the rest. With security thinned after the incident, nobody will ever find out. Even if they do figure it out, Joseph will take the blame. This is it. The power is just turned off for maintenance or something. I've decided to take care of that Sharon and then set things straight for Daddy. And then lots of praising to Cayne. Okay, well that's weird, as always. I vote we go... Ooh, wait. Oh, never mind. I saw something glitter. It's just dust. Lots of dust. Okay, so I have a blank PDT. And a lever. And a whip. You know what? We're just gonna not question it. Can you go in the door? Thank you.
I love Juca-Cola. Love it.
They say it's made from people.
Juca-Cola is made of love and happiness.
It's addictive. Chronic insomnia, headaches, vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, hallucinations, hypertension, gastrointestinal bleeding, peripheral neuropathy, cardiac dysrhythmia, congestive heart failure, toxic epidermal necrolysis, catastrophic hemorrhage, and death. Who needs sleep? Their little exchange made me think a lot of Tina from Borderlands 2. just the way the argument went. So yeah, the PDD printer room is where I will need to be going. But, in the interest of time, I think I'm going to go ahead and pause here. We've made a lot of progress and a lot of interesting world building, I suppose. Got items, found stuff, didn't get stuck. That's nice. But, like I said, gonna go ahead and pause here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.